the cloud and let's see if it works. Yeah.
Okay.
So,
Sounds good.
okay. I've I've been told to be quieter. I get all it's like whatever, 11 o'clock at night, and I get all excited talking to people. And I wake everybody up, I wake the family up. Oh well.
That's really funny.
Yeah. So whereabouts are you based in the US?
Yeah, I'm based in Alexandria, Virginia,
Right.
near DC.
Okay. Right. Yeah. I wouldn't
Yeah,
have known.
yeah.
Right. And I
Mm.
was just literally. How long have you been in the fast lane forum, by the way?
Like a month, not very long.
Right. And then you joined the inside fairly quick, obviously.
Oh yeah, yeah. I don't have step, right? So if I'm gonna do something, I'll do it.
I like your style. That's good.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So I remember reading your thread and I wanted to reply, but I knew once I started, I was just going to
It
keep
would
on
just take
going.
too long. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. And I was like, you know what? Just it'd be better just to get on a call. And if we can record it, great. But I remember you titled it like trying to find a sweet spot between fast action and strategic action, which I thought was quite an interesting title as well.
Yeah, and the headline is, I've been a business owner for 2 years, and I've done so much thinking,
Yeah.
and even like some executing, and a lot of times the things I thought about a lot didn't land in the market, right? Like when I spent 6 months planning for a launch, and then boom, nothing, right? Whole bunch of
Mhm.
nothing. And then there are other stupid things I did without really thinking about them that yielded, or things I didn't do anything about and they just came to me. So for example,
Yeah.
all my consulting money comes to me. I don't do anything.
Right.
Um, and so part of me feels like I'm spending all this time overthinking on things that aren't yielding results, and I need to just kind of just like stop it and just do the things that are working. Um, anyway, so I get stuck.
Yeah, no, that's absolute. I think that's perfect. It's like you said the word overthinking. Yeah, somebody mentioned a line. I don't know who it was. That overthinking is the art of solving problems you don't have.
Hmm.
You know,
Right. The
and
one challenge, yeah, go ahead.
if you're an entrepreneur, then you're a problem solver. Your job is to solve problems, and the one to solve is the one right in front of you now, not the one
Right.
10. Oh, look, by the way, if I managed to do this and do that and do that, what would happen if a customer did such and such? Well, you haven't got any customers, so don't even
Yeah,
worry
yeah.
about it. Get up there first.
So the one thing I'm trying to control for, because I have a full-time job and I'm doing this on the side, I
Yeah,
have the luxury of building the business I want to build, right? And
yeah,
so that's what's causing me trouble, right? In the sense that, I'm thinking about scale right
yeah,
now. I don't have infinite days off, so I can't just do all this consulting. Even if it came to me, I don't have the days.
right,
Um, and so I'm trying to find things I can do that can make me money that don't require days off, right? And so I've been trying to scale, but every time I've tried to do B2C scaling, it's yielded a pile of nothing in
right.
terms of like marketing and like getting people on my list or buying a product, like opt-in sequences, nothing, crap. And I think what it is that the niche that I'm in, like people don't go to Facebook and say, dang, I need to take a professional development course. Like they don't do that, right?
Yeah,
And so there's not really a good fit between, the traditional ways you would do like a funnel build and the kind of folks that I'm working with.
right. Okay, so your career, you're 25 years in HR, is that right? Something like
Um,
that.
Not 25 years. I'm too young for that, but I'm a VP of HR and operations in the nonprofit sector.
Okay, okay,
So
sorry.
that's my background. No worries. Um, and I do on the side. I kind of do three buckets of things. I do some HR and talent consulting.
Yeah,
And have like expertise in organization development, diversity and inclusion, and like traditional HR. But I don't pitch that. That just comes to me because people know me in the field and they know I'm doing this work. I have a business where I do coaching with women of color that want to get like from a manager job to a department head level job.
yeah,
Um, and that actually has been like pulling teeth to get actually. And I have this idea, which is not really a business yet. It's just an idea of sort of doing a more traditional kind of B2C funnel for HR people, because among HR people, I'm a kind of pink unicorn in that I'm the HR person people listen to. And most people
right.
don't listen to HR people, but they listen to me. And so like thinking about how to become an influencer in HR rather than a paper pusher. Um, And so anyway, I've got all these ideas. I don't know what to focus on first. I'm making money and I have a job. So I don't have the urgency of needing to pay bills.
Yeah.
But that's kind of making me stupid.
Yeah. It's, you know what? Sometimes you can have too many resources. You can have either too much money, which too
Mhm.
much time. In a way, you've got more time because you've got you've got runway. You don't have
Yeah,
time.
yeah.
You don't have time in the week to do stuff,
Yeah,
but
yeah, but I've got like yeah. I've got no
yeah,
burning platform. Yeah.
yeah. Okay, so you've got a day job where you're getting paid for these skills and experience
hmm
that you have anyway, and then you're getting consulting work, which is very similar. It's the same. Is it same?
It's more problem solving. So my day job, right now I manage some folks. I do some operations work. I do some HR work, and manage like a team. Right.
Yeah.
The consulting is usually I have this problem, fix it. So for example, I need to build a performance review system because we haven't had performance reviews in 3 years and everybody's pissed off. Cool. Or we keep losing all the women of color that work for us. Or my exec team has a person on it that's a bully,
Right.
and like come in, help us consult, advise around this problem area.
Okay. And how are people finding you for this consulting work?
It's people that I know, like that kind of just know me or have like we worked together a long time ago. And the thing about the business is the mission of the Breaker 28, which is the business, was always around women of color advancing their career. So
Yeah.
when people come to see that, even if they don't need that, they'll ask me for consulting on HR. Like they're like, oh, cool, I really like the mission of this organization. I'm going to ask her for this instead.
Okay. So if so you obviously get some people who you've worked with before who know you and they contact you. Are you getting like word of mouth?
Not yet.
Right. Okay. So those people are contacting you, and in their head, okay, I'm kind of curious because it's very similar to what I do, I suppose.
Yeah, yeah,
'Cause
yeah.
I had a day job. Look, I had a day job, and then I became a freelance, well, a contractor. I actually physically went on site and sat in the team, but I got
Yeah,
paid
yeah.
a limited company. I got paid different. Then I migrated from that to being a freelancer where I could work from home, and I had lots of clients in different places.
Yeah,
And I've still got no. I suppose I'm working on that scaling thing as well.
yeah,
Yeah, the divorcing
yeah,
time for money. Like I've
yeah,
got some little streams going. Um, I'm curious. Like so you've worked in lots of places or worked with lots of people.
yeah.
They know that you're good at solving problems. These HR kind of problems, maybe
hmm
specifically. But how are they in their head? How are you positioned? Are you like the HR person, the person who solves HR problems? Is that what they're kind of thinking
Got it,
of?
got it, got it. And actually, there's one thing I forgot that when you explained it, I remembered. They usually ask for free help, and then I give them what to do, and they're like, "Oh, do it."
Yeah,
So for example, and so typically, for example, I'm thinking of a contract that I just landed. Um, it was a woman who mentored me, I want to say like 10 years ago when I was like new in my career, not doing HR. And I trained a bunch of her people. I have a training contract as well under this business with another organization. And I trained a bunch of her people. So I reached out and said, hey, your people are great. And by the way, I'm in HR these days. You need anything, let me know.
very
Um,
good. Yeah,
and to which she was like, actually, and I told her exactly what to do, but it was something she would be terrified of doing. So she was like, and you do it.
yeah,
And that's sort of what how it happens. For me, another person I'm working with is a woman who I actually bought courses from, who she's having a performance issue on her team, and she's strong enough to handle it, but she's too busy. So like me pushing her to like, did you put him on a PIP? What are you doing? Like, and sort of pushing her behind the scenes is making her team more effective. But again, she had a pain point. She knew I kind of did this, but she more was like team Melanie, and she was
yeah.
just kind of like, okay, you'll figure it out. I can give it to you. You'll figure it out, and you'll
Okay.
help me figure it out.
Okay, so there's a few things there. People are buying from people, so that obviously they trust and like and you get stuff done. But how did she kind of know what you did?
I bought a course from her, and
Yeah,
so we've been like it was like a mastermind kind of higher level course,
yeah,
so she knew my work.
right. But is that because when you first communicating with each other, you say, "Oh, by the way, I do such and such." What is that?
Oh, it was like a cohort based thing. So
Yeah.
she knew what business I was building and where my expertise was.
Oh, interesting. Yeah,
Yeah,
that
yeah.
actually, yeah, I get that quite a bit where I might go on a local workshop for
Mm-hmm.
business owners, and I go in, and I'm not trying to like pitch anyone or trying to convert
Mm-hmm.
people to clients, and you'll always get asked. Can
Hmm.
everyone just briefly explain what they do and like what you get like to
Yeah,
get?
yeah.
Everybody does that. I go, well, kind of like I help local trades people generate more sales and blah 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 using AdWords, and then you can see people going, oh right, and then they kind of buttonhole you at coffee break. So
Hmm.
that's what, yeah. Is that what you mean? You just literally said, oh, I'm building a business where I help people with HR problems, and then they go,
Yeah, except I wish I was better about the networking. I can do it. I love doing it, but I've been total slacker. This is just people that have been in my LinkedIn network for a while that
yeah,
just sort of see your updates and see, and just are curious and reach out to you. It's really not me being a good steward of my relationships at all.
right,
Um, Fortunately or unfortunately. And I also, I have this training contract with the management center, and they've started to refer me business, like very small, just one. But there was something somebody needed to do that was talent that they don't do. They said,
yeah,
"Oh yeah, Mel can do it,"
okay.
and sent me some business. So that also is another way in.
Yeah, I have that as well. Where it's a great phrase. I think it's Jay Abraham is where I heard it from. He's a great marketing brain, one of the best in the world, like everyone would say. And he has a great line. It says, "Who already has your clients?
Mm.
What business already has your clients?" So maybe like accountancy firms. If you went to an accountancy firm and said,
Mm-hmm.
"Hi, I do, HR. I help people
Mm.
with HR issues." Accountancy firm has probably got a lot of
Yeah,
clients,
yeah,
and they were like, "Oh,
right.
and they might not there and then go, I've got some, but if they remember that, so that the next time somebody goes, oh, I've got a problem with such and such, like, so one of the best things I did, and I kind of knew I was doing it, but I didn't deliberately. It was like, I've got myself known as an AdWords guy. Like I actually, about
Mm.
4 years ago, I hired a marketing consultant to try and get rid of that. I didn't want to be known as an AdWords guy because whenever I spoke to people about landing pages and funnels and stuff, they were like, yeah, but we're doing that. You just do the AdWords bit. I'm like, no, you need it all.
I'm bigger
And, I,
than this. I can do
and then,
more. Yeah.
yeah, and eventually I just threw my hands up and went, right, that's actually what people introduce me to other people as.
Mm-hmm.
Like I might try and position myself as whatever, but they all introduce me as, oh, must be Andy. He's great at AdWords. It's like, okay, yeah, right. But I just sort of went with it. I went, you know what, I'm going to go with this. And what I've noticed, like in the Fastlane forum, for instance, I've just posted loads of stuff about AdWords. So if you help people with something and you talk about that something a lot, then you just naturally get, even you don't even have to put the label on yourself. People are going to go, oh yeah, Melanie, she's great at help solving HR problems or whatever the heck it is. And often, right, so if I get into a business helping them with like AdWords, it's really quite specific. If I can help them with that, they then get to know me, don't they? And then they go, Andy, can you do SEO? And can you do the website? I'm like, no, I don't. Actually, I'll find someone for you, but no. But just getting positioned very kind of narrowly
Mm-hmm.
really helped me because then, like, so for instance, say you did get speaking to somebody like on a course and they were like, they run an accountancy firm. They say, oh, all right, I'm a consultant. I do help with HR issues, this kind of stuff. And they go, oh, all right. They've filed it away. Next time somebody has a problem, they'd be like, oh, I know somebody who's a HR consultant. If you just said, I'm like setting up a business and I'm a consultant, they can't place you, obviously, you know?
Yeah. So this is where I'm kind of being dumb. So here's I'm trifurcating my work, right? In the sense that I have this training contract with the management center, like $3,000 a month. And it's for 2 days worth of training. So that means I have to take 2 days off. So it burns all my vacation, right? And then like it sucks.
Oh, right. Yeah.
It's a blessing and it sucks at the
Yeah.
same time. Um, and that contract gives me credibility because I'm training as a management trainer. Like I'm teaching managers how to manage more effectively. And so that's like core, right? But then my whole website, if you go to I'm a Breaker, is actually more geared to individuals who want to advance their career.
Yeah.
Um, as opposed to, on the corporate side, helping your managers succeed.
Okay.
It's more like, hi, manager, you want to get a raise? Let's go.
Yeah.
And then lastly, I got this HR thing I'm doing. And so there's no clear, to your point, there's no clear two-liner because I got 3 different situations going on.
Yeah. Okay. So what's bringing in the money at the minute?
at the very minute it's the consulting, but if there's no future in that, and that I'm not going to keep burning days, like I'm not going to do every year, have no vacation because of my training and consulting.
Okay.
um
All right. So there's people paying money for that.
mhm,
Okay. So that's like a demonstrated work, demonstrated cash flow. There's
mhm.
like your market is a demonstrated cash flow.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. It's like you could say, well, it's all colored women who are doing this kind of role.
Mhm,
That's
mhm,
more of a demographic. That's
mhm,
demographic. You want to
mhm,
follow a demonstrated cash flow. Are people paying money for courses, right? Those people who have already bought that kind of course they're my market. So there's already people, paying businesses paying to send people on it, or business owners going on courses to get trained by yourself to be a better manager at
mhm,
HR, whatever
mhm,
the
mhm.
speciality is. So there is money there already. Um, I, what would I be interested in? It's like if you were to if you were doing 4 days a week, I mean, how, no, you don't have to say, but you probably have this number in your head, but how many days a week for them or doing stuff like that would cover your salary so that you didn't have to do your job anymore?
I make good money. I mean, like it's golden, it's a little bit of a handcuff
Yeah,
situation.
yeah,
Um, what I'm hoping to do is so my plan is to use the training and consulting business to feed a scalable business.
okay,
So like to use the like not do more consulting than comes to me naturally, not do more training than 2 days a month, keep my regular job so I can pay down my student loans and do the things that I've got to do to sort of be in a position to pivot in a couple of years.
yeah,
But then like from the guppy pond, sort of feed the next pond,
yeah,
which is what I was hoping that HR thing that I posted in the forum might be, like selling sort of passive resources, because HR people are nerds. We buy all sorts of stuff
right,
on helping them become like influencers and like trusted advisors
within the company that they're working in.
within the
Yeah.
company that they're in. But I also could see myself like doing too much too. So I could see it both ways.
Okay,
I just,
sorry,
I
the,
don't
the
think,
training you're doing for people 2 days a month, what is that
yeah.
training?
So the Management Center is a firm in DC that does management training, and they charge a bunch of money for it, and I'm a subcontract for them. So they subcontract one training a month to Breaker 28. I do that training myself. I can't outsource it. It has to
Yeah.
be me.
But what is
Um,
the actual, is it HR or is it's just
it's management skills, and
management?
it's not my material, it's theirs. So I
Gotcha.
come in and facilitate their training.
Oh,
Um,
very good. Yeah. Okay. That's interesting. So like somebody who is in HR can look up to you because you've got like this much broader
mhm.
management skills than just HR. So yeah, it's
Yeah,
not,
and I also got to a VP level HR role at 30, right?
yeah,
And as a woman of color, first generation college grad. And so there's some validity there of like knowing how to level your career and move pretty fast.
yeah,
And so when people hear that, they're usually like, oh, really? Because HR people get no love, we get no respect. And so being an exec team member at 30 years old is kind of impressive to folk in the nonprofit sector anyway.
okay, interesting. Yeah, so I kind of know your dilemma. I was in jobs and picking up little contracts, trying to yeah take the odd day off to go and do
Yep.
it, which didn't last for long. Because like you say, you're using up your holidays and stuff. When I did jump ship, I had maybe 3 contracts on the go. Like I'd go on a client site for 3 days a week and 1 day a week and 1 day every 2 weeks for somewhere else and all that kind of stuff. Eventually, like I said, I got rid of that and ended up freelancing where I got lots of clients, but I've kind of changed it. So some of them are, it's almost like a retainer.
Yep. That's what I
Yeah.
want. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. So
Mm-hmm.
they're paying X per month, right? It took me a bit of work to get it going. Well, it takes me a bit of work to
Mm-hmm.
find them, then work with them. And not all of them are going to stay, but the ones that do, some of them can stay a long time and they're on a lower monthly fee than when I started consulting with them. And some of them I call them low. Oh, hold on, I don't call them low maintenance and high maintenance. I call them low touch and high touch, right? So
Yeah, yeah.
I
Mm-hmm.
get a new client, it's high touch, it's consulting work, and I'll charge a bit more often, and then hopefully I'll get them into what I call the low touch, and then I'm just getting paid, and they know that I'm there. I've built all the systems for them. I'm the guy who can support it, and if they have new things that want done,
Mm-hmm.
then I'm the guy. Right. So building that side up as like that's the consulting side. So as a
Mm-hmm.
consultant, that's how I'm making more money as a consultant like by having
Mm-hmm.
retainers, right? Then the other thing is like, so me personally, I've created a course, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the skills that I have, people, it's funny you said, but I'll chat to people and I'll tell them exactly what to do. I look over the shoulder, look at their screens and go, right, you need to do this, 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 and this. And they go, brilliant. Some go away, do it. Some come back and go, you know what? You know your stuff. I'm going to hire you to do it because I don't want to do
Mm-hmm.
it. And
Yep.
and in my mind, the people that were going to go off and try and do it themselves were always going to go off and try and do it themselves. They would never
It's
have
true.
hired me. Yeah, they're DIY folks. They
Yeah.
want to do it themselves. And the other folks, the more I tell them, the more they go, whoa, need to hire this guy. And the more I tell them, the more they don't want to do it. It's like, no, 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 no. I'm a business owner. I'll hire you to do that because I need to focus on growing a business.
Yeah. Yeah.
And they're my ideal client. They're the best clients anyway because they're, their mindset's a bit further on, I suppose. So I identified that my market was split between the DIY folks and the DFY, the done for you folks.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so the done for you is like the consulting. I'll do it. Actually, I suppose there's done with you. I will work with
Mm-hmm.
you as a consultant. The done for you is like, I've done it already and you just rent it off me or whatever. I've just done it.
Mm-hmm.
You're not going to hire me as a consultant. Tell me what's done. I'll do it. Come back. Here it is. But the DIY folks, like I felt I was underserving them
Mm.
in that maybe I'll have a quick hour chat and then I send them off and I say, right, you can maybe read this book and that book and whatnot. Or read like 38 posts I've dropped into the Fastlane forum about AdWords, which some poor person came back and said, it took me 18 hours to read all that. And I was like,
You're like, you're welcome. You're welcome.
yeah, I'm like, well, that's not good. I don't want you spending it. I don't want to turn you into a consumer. So I created a course on it, like an hour's worth of videos of this is what you need to do. No fluff. I just cut out every
Yeah. Yeah.
video. It was just literally, I didn't start the video going, hi, in this video, you're going to do it. I just went, right, going to create these. Did it. 2 minutes later, it's done.
Yep.
So it's an hour long, no fluff. And it's for the DIY folks, but the DIY folks are split between two types. You've got the ones who value their time and the ones who don't. Yeah. The ones who are like, no, why would I spend money on a course when I can get it on Google for free? It'll take me 2 years to learn
Yeah.
it all.
Bye.
Yeah. Versus the other person who's like, you know what, I don't have the time. My time is worth money. I do not want to spend. My course, by the way, I positioned it as like it's $400, $300 for insiders in the Fastlane Forum, $400, and it's 1 hour. Or you could spend $10 to buy an 18-hour course on Udemy. It's your choice.
Right.
It's your
Right.
choice.
Right. Here you go.
Yeah,
Right.
you go.
And then depending on how much your hour is worth, right? Because
Yeah.
a couple of hours of folks who are doing our work, that's
Yeah.
$400 for you.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. So I positioned it like that. So that's why I was kind of keen to talk to you, is because I've kind of gone the consulting and I'm still doing a bit of consulting, and I've got models where I like own assets. I build stuff now. And all right, so some companies hire me to do stuff for them and it's done and they keep me on retainer, but they own what I've built. And at some point they could say, grand, we've hired our own person, we're going to do it ourselves. And I'm like, yeah, brilliant. Contact me if you ever need any help. Okay. Then others,
Yep.
I literally build it and I go, I don't use the word licensing or anything like that, but I own the assets and they're just using it. Okay.
Yep.
So if you imagine it's like a sales funnel, I've built a sales funnel using my technologies and they're just renting it. They pay for it every month.
Yeah.
The leads come out the bottom. I don't know how that equivalent would work for yourself, but maybe there's ways of doing it. So that's using my consulting brain for the done for you clients, where I've built stuff that I'm renting out now. Okay. And then others where I'm not renting it, I've built it for them, but they've still got me on retainer.
Yep.
And
actually, in my niche, I don't think done for you will exist. And the reason why I think that done with the opposite, do DIY.
Yeah.
I don't think it will exist, because if they have HR people who can DIY, they won't even call me. Because SHRM and HCI and all the big industry certification organizations, they give members lots of free tools on how to do stuff. So when they're coming and they want an HR consultant, it's because they don't know what the heck to do. And but there could be scale, to your point, in a retainer model where, you're a new business owner or mid-size and you just need an HR executive, but you can't hire one. So it's kind of like you need like someone with the maturity and the wisdom to help you make a tough call, CEO, CIO, CTO, but you can't afford them. And your HR generalist ain't going to do the job.
Yeah,
you know, so
totally.
like right in that pocket. The one area I need to be careful about is I'm in the middle of, although MJ would like knock me upside the head, I'm in the middle of getting a new job. The job I'm in now is just, it's all things I hate doing. So definitely doesn't give me extra bandwidth to do the business because I come home and I just want to zonk out.
Yeah.
And so I'm moving to a job that's doing coaching for nonprofits in the education sector. So it's 100% management coaching, nonprofits in the education sector, which I think will give me great scale, because if the conflict of interest is around nonprofits, then all the for-profits in the world are mine,
Yeah.
right? Like if the business isn't going after for-profits, then I can coach for their nonprofits, and then on my own time, coach for for-profits.
Yeah.
And so I'm trying to find integration, because to me that's the hard stop, is like my physical time is the hard limit,
Yeah.
not money. It's not even skills, because I paid so much money for skills. It's literally just the time.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. It's a time. Yeah. It's comes down to the right model, doesn't it?
Yeah. And I think the model you suggested might just be that, like the retainer model. And so your advice to me then would be, I don't know if you got a chance to check out I'm a Breaker, but if you did, is to change the content of the site so it's all kind of focused on this consulting client, like the ideal person who might bring me in as someone who can help them with some of the stuff on a retainer basis.
Yeah. Here's the thing. You can have more than one site, right? You can have more than one sort of persona, more than one business. Like, so I've got my course is going on a particular site, which I've not built out. Like I sell it just purely from people in the Fastlane forum who know me. So I've got authority in there. They know, like, trust me. They want to do this thing. They buy it. Okay. Then they find out what the domain is, where the course in my forum is, a little forum I've got. Okay. Then I have like my own personal website, which I need to kind of fiddle and I'm just going to blow it away, and it's going to look like my LinkedIn profile. It's like, I'm a business owner. This is what I do. Blah, blah, blah. This is my track record. If you want to hire me, contact me. It's like, a kind of bio kind of thing. And that could be you hire Melanie, who's going to come in and troubleshoot and do this.
Yeah.
That could be completely separate. And you might have something completely separate for people. There's people searching on Google, right, for the HR certifications. Okay. If that's typing those in, you could potentially get them to a page where you just say, look, I can help you to pass that exam. Here's some resources, but also this is my background. I can give you information about passing that exam, but also help you to like supercharge your career as a HR person. So, but that could be completely separate, or it could be part of the same thing. But don't feel that you have to try and make one website cater for all of them. So like when you're out and about and you're going into like, a bigger company and you're speaking to someone, you can give them one business card, and when you're speaking to someone else, you can give them a different one. That's what I'm saying. And also they kind of lend credibility to each other. It's like if somebody was on your site about how to improve your HR, get your HR certifications or whatever it is, and then they had your name, they could go and Google you. They would find you and go, "Oh my goodness, this person has got like this. That's what you write for the Fortune 500 company who wants to like hire you to do a bit of work. You write that thing. Like this is Andy Black. My Andy Black website is a blog. I need to change it. At the minute, I've got like articles about AdWords. I've got articles about how I prospect and close businesses. It's like I don't want somebody who's going to hire me finding out me talking about how I close businesses and my sales models. It's like, I just need to separate them. Okay. But if that helps, you can actually separate them all. So also the other thing, my other way of looking at things is like a sliding scale. I started as an employee, then I went contracting, then I went to freelancer. Then I've become kind of like an agency, which means I hire people to do other stuff. I don't just.
I'm just starting to do that. So I just hired my first. She's a great woman. She has 25 years of HR experience, and she's up on one of those like Odesk Guru kind of platforms. I think Upwork. There it is. Yeah. I hired her to write a guide for me on becoming an HR influencer as an HR business partner. And what I'm finding is she's really good at the tactical, but there's a lot of me that still needs to be in it. That was my first foray into like producing content that's high quality that I'm not writing.
Yeah.
Because I love it. I'll do it all day. I love it, but I just don't got the time to do it.
Yeah.
And I still have to put my sauce on it because, it's very dry. So I got to put some seasoning in there, but it's like 90% easier than me writing it myself.
Oh, brilliant. Well, that's a bit revelation then, isn't it?
Oh my gosh. I still don't know though, like to your point, I'm going to think more about traffic. What I've in my head, what's playing is if I optimized for the HR person, not maybe having a separate site that I'm driving traffic to, whatever, I'm still open to that. But like if I optimize for the corporate client, that would want to come and get consulting, then my LinkedIn content could be tailored to that client because it resonates with like my personal LinkedIn profile.
Yeah.
But my blog on that site could still be tailored to like women of color trying to advance their career. Like that could at least be one section of the blog. And then the rest of it could be other stuff that's more related to the corporate client.
Yeah.
Like trying to figure.
Or you could,
Yeah.
if in doubt, my motto is if in doubt, have them separated. Yeah, just separate them because then you might go, you know what, I'll join these up later. And you know what, you could literally have a link on your main website, melanie.com. You can have a link like, work I do for women of color. Click, and it takes them to the other website.
Oh, brilliant.
You don't
Brilliant.
need
Yes.
don't have them all together. It's easier to have them
That's what you've been
separate.
trying to tell me. It just took me a while to get it. I got it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think to your point, I will have them separate, but I'm going to weight my focus and attention on the place where I'm making money, which seems obvious, but I was totally not doing that. So
it doesn't mean the other ones you don't do.
Right. But like in terms of weight, right? Like the big rock and the medium, the small.
Yeah, because like it's almost like if you could get to the point where you're not working a job, but you've got, if that money is replaced by consulting, but it doesn't take up too many days in your week or training or whatever the heck it is, right? Then you might end up with like 10 days free a month. Let's say you managed to do 10 days of consulting and it covered what you're doing as like 20 days as a job. Then you've got 10 days to work on your business. When I went from being a contractor going on client sites to being a freelancer working from home and I saved the commute, it was like, that was amazing. And then it was like, oh my God, I can, because I was on a client site. I couldn't send emails to, I just couldn't follow up on stuff with other, my like side hustle businesses. I just couldn't do that. I couldn't get on the phone. And then all of a sudden I was like freed up. It took me a few months to realize I can really work on this now. And it just, even if you just replaced the salary with something else, now obviously you're going to want to be, think it's stable and all that stuff. But actually, here's another thing. You could potentially replace it. You can make the leap sooner than replacing your salary, because if you work out what you need to live on, it might be that your salary is way more and you just have to match that. And for instance, you could do those sorts of things. And so what I'm learning is I'm moving along this sliding scale of like employee, contractor, freelancer, agency owner, where it's kind of bespoke, lots of bespoke work. And then agency owner, where it's what they call a productized service, where what I'm doing for each client is starting to get very, very similar. And if a client comes in saying, "Oh, we do e-commerce," I still can't quite say no, but I'm always saying no. No.
I'm closer. Yeah.
You have to be a plumber or a cleaning business or I'm getting to that point where I only serve those types of clients and we only do this. And no, sorry, I don't do Facebook, just this. Okay. Once I go, but as I move along that, okay, so I'm getting almost to the point where I have a platform where I'm building something where people buy something and, like a software as a service type thing, where it's like they might purchase something for $99 a month and bang, and then it's done. It's like hosting, and I can just rack these up. Okay, but in my experience, I think people try and do that side where they scale and it's automated and scaled without having gone through the high touch bit of actually dealing with businesses. Like you've got a skill set and the skills and experience, and like you can definitely make a living as a consultant. And as you do that, you deal with business, you solve that. But what I don't even intentionally do it. I find that the same problems crop up and I go, oh, hold on. I sent an email about that to somebody else. Hold on. And I dig through, I grab it and send it.
So there's like an economy of scale there. Where
it just naturally happens where you go, you know what, that thing that's what I do in the forum. It's like, I keep ending up posting the same reply lots of times. And then I go, you know what, I can't find this reply. I'm going to create a thread now with that reply. And next time it happens, I'm going to I'm going to point people to it, which means naturally over time, the threads I create are solving problems that come up all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So it kind of like it's where the market is telling me what it wants. So I just, yeah, I'll help everyone. I go into a forum, help everybody with everything. And then I get fed up of saying the same thing over and over. So I go, right,
You
you know
just,
what?
yep,
Here we go.
yep.
Next time, next time, next time. And like that, I that's allowing me to find things that people are stuck on. And then
Mm-hmm.
that allowed me to create the course
Mm-hmm.
because I knew what everyone was doing wrong and why they were doing it wrong.
Got it.
Yeah, because I not only did I do it in the forum where I wrote stuff, but every time somebody follows me or reps me or whatever, I send it an email. Hey, thanks for
Mm-hmm.
how are things going? So I've had like 2,000 little messages, and
Mm.
I'll jump on a call with people every week and
Yeah,
chat.
yeah, 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 yeah.
But when I look over somebody's shoulder at their AdWords account and I see the same problems all the time, but I finally work out why it's the same
Mm-hmm.
problem. I go, and then I can suss out how to unravel that a little bit next time I talk to somebody.
Yep.
By the way, and then I can explain it better. And that's why I've got my course down to like an hour of taking
Yeah,
some
yeah. Right.
bit
Cause you,
there.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. And you won't get a course down to an hour. Like you know for yourself when you stand up and do your first presentation on a new subject, it's
Yeah,
going to,
yeah.
but the
Right.
10th
Yeah.
time you've done it, you'll be honed. So
Mm-hmm.
like, this doing it hand to hand, engaging the market one on one,
Mm-hmm.
hand to hand, I think is almost
Mm-hmm.
like essential.
Yep.
You've got
Yep.
to you just cut, it's where you cut your teeth. And then over time you start going, you know what? That's the same as they've all got the same problem, but you wouldn't have noticed, you know?
Yeah. That's awesome. So the place I'm attempting to get a job with does 60% time and 80% time.
Yeah.
And so my hope would be in 6 months, if I'm doing well, go to my manager, say, hey, I want to do 80% time for 80% pay. Like I'd like a day off a week,
Yeah.
basically. And then
Yeah.
sort of build from there. Maybe in a year, go 60%. Um, and eventually, I'm so risk averse. I'm like the worst. Like I'm the opposite of MJ in the gang. I'm super risk averse. So like having a track record is going to be super important for me to be able to
That,
get myself.
that's okay. Look, horses for courses. I'm like, I might be risk averse. I don't really know. Well, look, I've got a family. I've got kids,
Yeah, yeah, I see
wife.
toys. Yes.
I've got to, I can't just burn the boats and go all in and all. Blah,
Yeah,
blah,
yeah.
blah. It's like, hello, I'm a responsible adult. Like I can't. The wife's going to have a few words to say with me
Yeah,
if I
yeah, yeah,
can't
yeah.
pay the mortgage. But the most amazing thing is like forget it's funny you saying you created plans and then it didn't work. The
Yeah.
most amazing thing is the first time you get an email sign up and then
Mm,
literally I got an email sign up on my blog, like my fifth one you sign up because I'm not actively trying to promote it, and somebody signed up and I mailed them by hand. I don't have any
mm,
of these automated things. You talk about funnels and automation. I don't
mm,
have them set up. I mailed them by hand and said, look, so, how you doing? Hope you're enjoying the start of the week. Blah, blah, blah. And then I just asked him a few questions. What kind of business are you hoping to grow? How did you
yeah,
even
yeah.
find me? Blah, blah. And he replied, and I got info. I'm like, wow, so a conversation's starting already. All right. So I've just completely got sidetracked myself, which I
No,
go,
I think I get what you're saying. It's okay if it's not a scalable system. Do
yeah,
things that don't
start.
scale.
Do
Yeah.
things that don't stay. Literally just get started. All right. But like when you get that first email sign up and then a message back or that first thing and then the first sale, like that's amazing. It's just honestly, it's like a buzz. But then once you got the first sale, if somebody bought your course or somebody signed up to your $9 a month newsletter thing
Right, right.
for HR consultants who want to improve their career, like $9 a month, that's not much. There could be something there. You could maybe do something. Um, and if the next month you got two signups and then the next you got three, the fact that it's growing, even if it's low,
Mm-hmm,
gives you
mm-hmm,
hope. That's unbelievable. It's like you
mm-hmm,
go, oh my God, this thing could work. Yeah. And like, so that, yeah. And then you have to get something to a point where you've got like a trigger point where you go, you know what, I can now stop doing that because of this. And I can go to 4 day weeks. I can go to
mm-hmm,
three, I can go to two. Like
mm-hmm,
you'll know, but the most important thing is getting that initial momentum and traction of like,
mm,
of trying to get a sale and before the sale is somebody even going, whoa, that's really interesting. I'll be interested, or signing up to your free email thingamajiggy.
mm-hmm.
But then once you sign up, you don't just leave them there and go, great. I'm all over them, dude.
I
I
have a drip, but I have like a 4 day drip, but then I try to sell something and then if you don't buy it, I don't have any like I need to fix it. I
I
know.
don't have anything. I don't have any automated thing. None, literally. They sign up, means I've got their email address in Active Campaign, which I don't know how to use, and I mail them from my Gmail account. Hi, how's it going? I want the conversation. Like,
Yeah,
there's,
yeah.
there's a
That's awesome.
great phrase by Mother Teresa, and it's literally my favorite business phrase. And it's like, never worry about numbers. Help one person at a time, and always start with the person closest to you.
Oh
And
man, that's awesome.
if you think what she's done,
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
yeah, so you imagine her just coming into a disaster zone, and there's just so much to do. She's just going to help the first person near her. So, and
Mm,
so somebody sends you an email, bang,
deal with it, yeah, and
yeah,
help them. Yeah.
help them, and you never know what will come out of it. In fact, you'll get a buzz. Look, if I help somebody and they are brilliant, I'll never hear from them again. Like, but
Mm-hmm.
I've set them off in a little direction. That's great. But also, I get something out of it each time. I'm like, oh, there's the DIY folks who don't value the time. There's DIY folks who do, and then there's the actually, I think there's a done for you, and I think there's a done with you. I don't know which is I should price higher. So I'm figuring all this stuff out from talking.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like forget avatars and customer avatars. It's like the really,
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to sit in a room and come up with like, oh right, there's going to be a Melanie and she's going to want
Yeah,
this. I'm
yeah,
literally
yeah.
going to talk to people and find out what's
Yeah,
common,
yeah, yeah.
yeah, what people are stuck on. And
Got it.
and I learned stuff like you said something, and it just confirmed something that I think is that there is a sweet spot for what the services I provide, where they don't have a marketing manager, or not a marketing manager,
Mm-hmm.
they don't have an AdWords person full time. Like,
Mm-hmm.
how big a business do you have to be to have an AdWords person full time? You have to be
Right,
pretty big.
right.
Right? So I'm after a certain size business, and it's not, and like, so then my fees are also lower than what if they were to hire a marketing person who they
Mm-hmm.
think would be able to do my job, who wouldn't be able to, but they think, oh, we got a marketing person, she can do Facebook, Instagram, AdWords, blah, blah. Right? So
Right.
that person might be this amount, and I'm going to charge less than that. So that's why they go, oh, you know what, that's kind of worth it. And I've noticed, as the fees get higher, there's more obviously there's more likelihood of churn because they can't get the ROI. But then what happens is this is such a great job. You've done such a great job. We've hired somebody. It's like, oh, okay, right. Best of luck,
Are you, I'm curious, are you making the case for how much money you're saving them? Like, for example, we hired the organization where I'm a VP right now, we hired a consultant, Dawn, who has her own digital marketing agency when we lost a staff member. Like she was our bridge. She was only supposed to be with us 3 months.
Yeah,
What we found is she found all sorts of waste that was happening in our advertising campaigns. And she also was able to build systems so that it takes less of her time to run a report than it took the previous person. So this isn't Google Ads, but in Facebook, for example, our tags, or no, Google Tags Manager, jacked, just totally jacked. And so as a result, it took a long time to pull certain reports in it.
yeah,
And if she was billing by the hour, it would have taken her much longer to do them. They were based on events versus, anyway, you
yeah.
know that world better than me. So couple quick tweaks saved us a ton of money over time. Is that part of your positioning like that?
No, I don't really go that route, to be honest. When I speak to businesses, I wave my arms around a lot. I get very excited. I'd be very geeky, but I talk about kind of about getting started really quick. You've got a business idea, or we've got products that you want to sell. How many products
Mm-hmm.
you got in here? You've got 10,000 products. Okay, which sells the most? Which do you want to sell the most? What's everyone looking for? Tell you what, I'll load them all. And they're like,
Mm,
what? I'll load them all. We set a really low budget, $100, and we'll find out which gets searched for the most and which has the most volume, what to focus on. Because you're talking about what? Building a website for all 10,000, having all 10,000 products on it. Well, why don't we just
mm,
find the top three and build a page
mhm,
for the three and go fast and try and get your profits immediately? But
mhm,
which three should we do? And they're like, oh, I don't know. Right. Okay. We'll find that out first. So what
mhm.
I tell the business owner is I find it's much sexier to talk about making more money than saving money.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, you're
for
right.
starters,
True. Totally true.
there's that
Totally
part.
true.
It's like, I'm going to help you to find out
Yep.
what everyone's looking for. Right. So you're selling blue widgets, but everyone's looking for red widgets. Oh yeah, we can make them red. Okay. Well, there you go. Stop trying to sell your blue ones, paint them red, and go and sell them to
Mm-hmm.
everyone who wants the red ones. That's the kind of stuff I can find out for you really quick and cheaply. Blah, blah, blah. And that's kind of how I position myself when I'm speaking to people. I don't have a sales page that says any of this. Yeah,
Mm,
I might get to that point, but I'm moving away from consulting anyway.
mm,
Right, so
mm,
I don't want to be a consultant. I kind of want to use the skills and knowledge I've got to generate leads and sales,
mhm.
but I want to own the platform that I do it from. So it's like um, booking.com. Presume you've heard of
Yeah,
booking.com.
I've
Okay, so
used
you're
them.
going to
Yeah.
look for hotels and blah blah blah. They've used their skills at generating leads for hotels, but they own the brand that they built
Yeah.
in the booking in the hotel space. Right. So
Got it.
if I built a blacksmithsbooking.com, find your blacksmith here, and I owned it and I signed up businesses to it, I own that asset and everything I do,
So
all,
like MJ's limo situation.
exactly. Yeah.
Okay, so like
Yeah.
a two-sided kind of marketplace
Yeah. Yeah. So that's kind of what
platform.
I'm doing. And potentially, if you can get people who are right, how I already know because I've helped businesses with AdWords doing this, where people are looking for certifications for something. It could
Mm-hmm.
be nursing, it could be project management, it could be all sorts. So if there's a certification that HR people are wanting to do, then there's probably searches on Google of people looking for it. You could
Mm-hmm.
likely, right, first off, find out the search volume, do the searches yourself, look at the ads, go to the landing page and look at what people are doing. Are they capturing that email address? Right. If you're saying I can't remember, you said there's a certain number, 2 million people in LinkedIn have
Yeah,
HR.
yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's on LinkedIn who've put HR. There's obviously more in the
Yeah,
whole
yeah.
country. Right. How many of them would like to improve their career and prospects and all the rest of
Mm-hmm.
it? A lot of them. How many of them are actively searching? If they're on Google actively searching, maybe you can get them to a page and just say, look, give us your email address. I can give you this great report, and then I can help you. I can give you tips on how to pass this exam or that exam.
Yeah,
Also,
yeah.
tips on how to, influence the business as a HR person. Because, and then you can tell your stories. You will have so many stories,
I
and
sure
then
do.
you've already got somebody lined up who can send emails. So
Mm-hmm.
the uh, so it's not a case of like creating 30 days worth of emails and then setting this up. It's a case of like, this is what I do and recommend people do is create a page, send people to it, get them to sign up. When they get signed up, go, oh my God, mail them by hand.
Yep.
Literally, like the day later, you go, oh, sorry, I didn't mail you. I blah, blah, blah. It was midnight. And da-da-da. Make it real. And there's something even that I've used a few times called bonjoro.com, Bonjoro, and where you can use your phone and you can create a little video message and mail it as part of the
Oh,
email.
how cool.
Yeah. And I've had people going, mailing me back going, oh my God, I've never seen that before. You've literally sent me a personal email because a personal video, because when I try to send a personal email, it's so
Mm-hmm.
hard to make it look like it's real and not
Mm-hmm.
somebody's autoresponder sequence trying
Yeah,
to.
yeah, totally, totally.
But what I'll do is I'll look at their email address and I'll go to their website if I can, and then come back, go, oh, how long have you been like a hairdresser or whatever, and
Mm-hmm.
what made you get into that, and they're just blown away that somebody's actually replied to them, and then you just get into a conversation, and I'm not trying to sell to them. I'm literally trying to, well, why did you join this? And what are you looking for? And all that kind of stuff. And I'm not going to send them a survey. Everyone's like, get 100 signups and send them all a survey. I'm like, I'm talking to them. This guy signed up. If needs be, I'll get on a phone call with him and chat with him, and if he doesn't want to, then he's, no, I would be more interested in chatting to people who want to get on a phone call because they're more motivated to get on a phone call. So out of 100 people, maybe only 5 do. I want to know what that 5 are interested in anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll probably offer and get on the phone call. Right. So this how to move faster, to
Mm-hmm.
strategic action and fast action is if you've got this idea, you've got an idea, it's just to run a test. You want to run a test. That's the mindset of like, I wonder if I can get people interested in passing that exam to take that course over there. Right.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Get them to the page, say, look, are you interested in passing this exam? There's a course on such and such. I've got some tips on how to do blah, blah, blah. If they give you an email address, you go, oh, game on. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then also you're super motivated. You're like, wow, I did this. I tested it in a week and I'm getting 3 emails a day. So I'm running some stuff for people and we're getting like, it's costing $3 per email sign up. We haven't monetized it.
Mm.
We like also you mentioned the word traffic. It's not traffic, it's people. You've got to remember it's people at home doing a search going, how do I get this HR exam? What
Mm-hmm.
behind that is a whole story of somebody at home trying to do better for their kids and blah blah blah. So they hit your page and you just offer the thing and you've got a picture of you saying, look, this is my background. I can help you with this. Do you want to sign up? Give us your email address. And then what might come after that is, I don't know, just get going. Like, that's the problem. That's the second problem. What do I do when someone signs up? Well, you haven't got to sign up yet. So that's the problem. That's overthinking. To try and solve that one is to write an autoresponder sequence before you've actually got to sign up.
Mm. Yeah. Yeah. It's so, what you're advising is the opposite of literally what, like the cult sort of thread that was there. Like the cult is around getting you to build stuff in advance.
Yeah.
And then when you do it, it yields nothing. So it's a really interesting approach. I'm definitely going to execute against it.
Yeah. The other thing that cult, I think that's Lex's thread, isn't it? I think they're talking about, is it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's all
Yes.
about automation and funnels and automation and traffic and clicks. It's like people forget that it's people. It's like, it's not traffic. It's a person did that search, or a person is in that Facebook group or saw that Facebook ad, and it's a person has arrived at your page with like hopes and fears and dreams and like, whatever worries. And they had a particular thing in mind, like when they did the search for how to pass such as XYZ exam, they hit the page and like, no, that's the wrong page for me. They're out. Like, it kind of bothers me. Like, I'm supposedly a marketing consultant. I do AdWords and I help businesses generate more sales and blah, blah, blah. But the first thing I have to tell them is like, stop talking about traffic, for God's sake. And remember, because like you're saying, my job is not to get you traffic. My job is to get people interested in your product to your page and then help you to get out your own way to sell that thing to those people, to help them. Okay. Yeah. So that's my rant. That's my soapbox moment.
Yeah. So I'd love to learn more. I'm not interested in the course because I don't want to do it myself. I suck at this. It's just not. I would be interested though. Do you do like a smaller kind of package for newbies around like a particular set of tests or whatever, like what you proposed earlier on our call?
That's really interesting because I wasn't completely wasn't angling at selling you the course or anything like that. But this,
I just know me. I'm not going to do it.
Yeah,
so, like,
but it's funny. Like, anybody watching this can realize that I just got on to help you, talked, gave examples, and then you've gone, you know what, that might be interesting, but I'm not going to do it. But I'm interested in that thing that you said that I should be doing. Like, it's exactly what we've both said. When you tell somebody, there are some people who are going to go, you know what, can you just do that for me? I don't want to even.
Yeah, no, I really don't. Not even a little bit.
Yeah. Funny, I keep getting asked to do this, and I will come up with some way of doing this because I'm literally testing this for a few people. Because I keep getting advised, Andy, you should be working for much bigger companies and doing blah, blah, blah. The reason why I'm self-employed is I don't want to work for those big companies. It's like,
I hear that.
If I was to spend my day chatting to people, it's not going to be a marketing manager in a bit. No disrespect to marketing managers in the wheel, and they're playing their politics and all that kind of stuff, which they have to. I spend my time helping people in motion. They have to be in motion, just to test things and test ideas. So we work something out. Like, and literally, we could do that as another recording because it'd be quite interesting. What I mean is, if we record it, drop it in, people may look at it and may want to try and copy it, but they don't have your skills, experience, knowledge.
Yeah. I'm not at all worried about that. They don't got my sauce.
Which is actually, this is why also I think I've chatted to a few people and they're like, I've been an accountant for 25 years, but I want to teach I want to make money teaching how to play the guitar or something. And you're like, well, do you make money teaching how to play the guitar? No. And you're like, but dude, 25 years you've been paying your mortgage with that skill. Why have you just want to throw it away and do that? Because you've got all the stories. Goodness. The people are going to pay for the stories. People will come to see you to hear about your stories. People will tune in, like HR people who want to become you are going to learn off your stories. They're going to want to hear your stories. You've already said in your Fascinating Forum thread that, people are like really interested in like your way of presenting everything, your selling point. So why would you? Yeah,
and the more coaching I do, like it's part of this next tranche of like training and coaching to build up the nest egg that we talked about. I'm only gonna get more stories, right? If I'm in a training room, somebody's like, well, listen to the situation I'm in. Can you tell me what
Yeah.
to do about this? So like stolen. And then, or someone else will be like, hey, this is the situation I'm in. Can you help me, coach me, whatever? Another story, you
Yeah.
know? So like it's
Totally.
a
Yeah.
virtuous cycle a little bit.
Yeah. And that's what I have by having clients. Like I said a second ago, I'm going to get away from consulting and clients, but I can't help it. It just keeps coming through
Mm-hmm.
like a lead or chat to somebody. I'm like, like reasonably big businesses. And oh, okay, I said I wouldn't do e-commerce, but damn it, that sounds so interesting. I can't help myself.
Mm-hmm.
But then I have more stories. And obviously, each client, I learn something from them because they'll
Mm-hmm.
say, can you try this? I'll try it and it'll work or not. And then somebody else will say, can we try this? And they, oh, well, it's probably not going to work, but let's have a go. But so yeah, all these stories, I can't help it. I still like consulting anyway, so I'll probably end up doing it.
Mm-hmm.
You've just reminded me that. So my course is
Mm-hmm.
like a one-off thing where people will pay, Fastlane Forum members, insiders pay
Yeah.
$300, get access to the course, lifetime access. It's up on a platform called Thinkific.
Yeah.
Get
Yeah.
create videos, shove it up, and bang, it's like amazing. It connects to PayPal, Stripe, and you get paid. Then I've kind of created a forum. Actually, what I did was I created a Facebook group to go along with it because the Facebook group is really quick,
Mm-hmm.
simple.
Yeah.
And it's like anyone who's stuck, here's a Facebook group. You can ask me questions.
Yeah.
Nobody
Yeah.
asks questions about the course, but people are asking questions about other stuff like how do you acquire clients or what would you do with this?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I was like, okay, should I create a forum, drop us
Mm-hmm.
all into that out of Facebook because I don't like being in Facebook groups? And they said yes, so I created a forum. And now that course, I
Mm-hmm.
still have it as standalone, but I have to redo all the videos because Google have changed the interface. And I may shove all the new course into the forum, which is
Mm-hmm.
like going to be an annual fee of $300.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So then people who sign up is going to be every year. Like if I can keep adding value, I'm going to
Yeah.
sign up.
Yeah.
But now I chatter in that forum about all the stuff that I love chattering about. But people ask questions and it's not work. It's just easy. I can do it on my phone and answer. And I've
Yeah.
just,
Yeah.
they're stuck on something. I just, no, 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 do this. They're like, oh my God. That's
Mm-hmm.
because you've got 10 years experience at it.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So you can go from creating a little course. There's something I want to try is like creating a $9 a month newsletter, email newsletter.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Sign up here, like $9 a month. It's an easy sell. People could be on that list, get information that I'm not going to publish anywhere else because I don't want to index by
Mm-hmm.
Google and blah, blah, blah. And that could add value. Then there's a course. It could be I've got a standalone course. I could have a smaller price course. Then
Mm-hmm.
there's the recurring thing. I've noticed not everybody wants to be on the course, not everyone who wants to buy the course wants to be in a forum.
Yep.
So maybe I have it standalone and you get access to the forum. And then maybe, there's one where you could just join this and blah, 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 whatever. But
Yep.
there's all these options, so you've
Right.
got all this knowledge and so many people want that knowledge and there's so many ways of presenting it that, you can make money where you're not present. That's kind of the thing that you were
Yeah. Yeah.
initially
Well,
starting
so
with.
specifically for my test, I think, and it's early, and I know we'll have a separate conversation about it, but I'm building this manual, this business partner influencer manual, and it's for HR general, and it's going to be sexier than that, but that's the functional of what it is. It's for HR generalists who want to get a strategic HR job and they keep getting blocked,
Right.
right? Like they just can't get the job and they can't figure out how do I change my perception from being this like doer, paper pusher, grunt to a business advisor, a talent advisor, a trusted advisor in HR so that I can make more money because generalists
Yeah.
don't get paid nothing. And also because I want to sort of be less of a grunt and more kind of owning my job. I want an office. I want a team. I want, and so I'm putting this manual together and it's really good. And funny, if I say so myself, like it's actually pretty engaging. And so for me, that would be like a prime thing to have a landing page for, because it's like a direct thing that I potentially could do with some LinkedIn ads and some Google ads and some, and so I think that would be a really tight sort of thing. And then the other thing I'd be interested in testing is like, how do I get corporate people, whether it be like department heads or talent heads that are like struggling with an issue to land on my page.
Yeah.
So like they're struggling with an issue around diversity, like, and they're typing, diversity issues or tricky diversity, blah, 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 or any number of search things that tell me that you got a problem,
Yeah.
right? Like if they land on the opportunity to have a retainer, like, or the opportunity. Well,
Have a
I,
consultant. Have a chat with a consultant. Is
yeah,
basically
yeah, yeah,
paid or
yeah,
not paid. You know.
yeah, yeah. Right, right. Or just, yeah, let's just connect and see if I can help. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So that's kind of like what I mean by they go to the Melanie page where it's just a short thing. This is what I am. I'm
Hmm.
an expert at it. Da, da, da. Maybe like there are some articles show that you can literally point people to, and then
Hmm.
they read it. They go, "This is brilliant. Book a call or whatever." You know,
Yeah, yeah,
that kind of
exactly,
yeah,
exactly.
yeah.
And I'm in the process of getting some of the copy on my website. Like, I haven't pulled the trigger on what I want it to be, which is why I have people waiting, but the project isn't starting until I know what the heck I want to do.
Yeah.
Um, to sort of make the content a little more focused, because right now it's all focused on people of color who want to get better jobs, but that doesn't actually align to where my revenue engine is. And it's a real simple, I mean, the images will stay, the whole website will stay. It's just trading out content.
Okay, right. That's really interesting because what you're saying there is you've got an idea and you push it onto the market. This is, I think, what MJ calls push marketing versus
Mm-hmm.
pull. Whereas if you create, okay, actually, it's not what he means by that, but you've got an idea that people of color in HR, but you might find that that's not what people are looking for. So that's your blue widget you're trying to sell, but everyone's looking for the red widget.
Oh,
So
yeah, no, I'm not going to change it to the blue widget. What I'm going to do is the consulting where I know I'm making the money.
yeah,
I'm going to make my whole website optimized for a corporate buyer who wants
gotcha.
a consultant on HR.
Yeah,
And as a sub page of that, or hidden somewhere, is going to be a landing page for the HR business partner thing. So there'll
yeah,
be two totally different kind of tests, to your point about keeping them separate.
gotcha.
But if
All
I'm
right.
going to spend some money to make the content better, I'm going to make it better toward the people who are paying me.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah. Okay, so what you're doing there is you're creating a funnel. Somebody's
mhm,
or HR consultant who knows X, Y, Z, you know,
mhm.
law or something or other. So that indicates they're in a big business and they've got a problem with such and such. Then you've got a specific ad. I'm talking about an AdWords one, obviously. Specific ad, and they go to a specific page, just talks about that and doesn't talk about all the other stuff
Yeah,
that you
yeah,
do.
totally.
Because, yeah.
Focus. Yeah.
And then you have another one for people,
Corporate
different,
buyers who need HR people.
and then
Yeah.
all these other ones. So
Yeah.
my way, the way to do that is uh, do the keyword planner, use the Google keyword planner, find out what
Yep.
loads of people are looking for. You're going to be able to look at it and go, oh my goodness, loads of people
Well,
looking
what's
for that.
crazy is I did it while we were talking.
Yeah,
HR business partner is really popular, like
yeah,
very popular as a search thing that people type in, which is
gotcha.
annoying because I've been like for 2 years trying to spin my wheels and put in all sorts of stupid search terms and definitely didn't think of the obvious one. So
Right. Yeah, so there's
um,
that. Then, okay, so that's going to be,
that's the guide.
that's a
Manual.
B2B type person. That's a B2B type thing. Then you can have the B2C type searches of people wanting to improve their career, get a job and all that. Getting a job. My goodness, the people looking for a HR job location. There's
Yeah,
so
yeah.
many of those.
They
There's
just
tons
don't
of
pay you nothing. They just don't got any money to pay you. So I want them to get a better job. Like, you're employed already and
yeah.
you want a better job.
Yeah, but what I mean is that, right, so that search indicates they are a certain type. They're different from
Yes.
the, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, but you could still run stuff and but have a different offering for them. So that's a
Yeah,
different
yeah.
thing where they get
Yes,
to pay you. So
exactly.
how to create your CV in such a way that
Mm-hmm.
you get your job, $9,
Yeah.
blah,
Yeah,
whatever,
yeah.
and
Yeah,
then you
yeah.
get them on, and then you like 10 years later you've helped them to get up to blah, whatever. But this is how you're just getting your name out there and you're covering everything. But it doesn't have to dilute your other brand, your corporate this is thing.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
It doesn't
yeah.
have to be your name. It can be like a ghost name, ghostwriter's name on it or whatever.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Do that. Also, something to think about is what's worked for me, almost accidentally, kind of new, but I didn't know how it was going to work out, is going into forums and Facebook groups and just helping people.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's in my nature anyway, is that
Mm-hmm.
when I see someone stuck, I just start writing. And before I know it, I've written that much. Like if
Yep.
I knew I was going to write that much, I wouldn't have started, but I just
Mm-hmm.
started, it flows. And then I've got an article, boom, I can put it somewhere. And then I do it again and I do it again. And then before you know it, everyone knows you as the XYZ person, the person who
Mm.
knows a lot about such and such. It's like instead of coming in going, hi, I'm Melanie, I've got 10 years of this and 10 years of that, and I'm
Yeah,
X.
yeah.
You show, don't tell, you show them your expertise.
Yes.
And you literally, this is what you need to do. And they go, oh my God, thanks, that's brilliant. I'll go off and do that. Go read that book, go do this, and ignore that thing.
That's awesome. I definitely am going to try that out. And the thing is, most of the folks in the fast lane forum specifically seem to be like entrepreneurs, like they're starting, like there's like a like 20% maybe that are like established like yourself. Is that a proper read, like that split, or maybe it's 40-60?
Oh, I don't know. I would guess, you know what, it could even be less than 20%. Like the people, because the people who are in motion running a business are often too busy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there's only a certain few who are like, whatever, can't help themselves like me, who just have to pop in and just help.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
You
yeah,
know,
yeah.
just like, is it, so I'm sure there's a lot of people who are in motion who don't post much.
Right,
Okay,
right,
but
right.
the
But the
ones who
folks who are
post
in there,
post
yeah.
the ones who are posting a lot, often they're very new. They just come in, bang, and then they have, because they're not reading, and then they start reading, then they start quieting down a bit, and then so yeah, obviously there's a lot of young people in the forum as well. You know,
Yeah, well, so I was just thinking, I can't really be helpful to folks who don't want to have a job, right? Like who would like on purpose. But if they have employees, like from a help perspective, that is something I can
oh,
help
there you go. So in the
with, right?
forum, I can't think of who's the HR person in the forum. You
Well,
know,
there, yeah, right. There's a talent sort of subgroup, but I don't know that it's active because I mean, there just don't seem to be a lot
yeah.
of posts about
So
that.
okay, so for instance, in the Fastlane forum, you could literally just help people. If you see someone stuck on something, just go, oh, by the way, you could do blah blah blah, or
Yeah,
you could
yeah,
write something to say, by the way, there's a new law just come out. You might all be worried about it. This is what you
yeah,
do.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
there's somebody called Care CPA in there. You can guess what they're like, but they they'll just rock in, say something about something or other, and leave again. You sit there and go, right, okay. Yeah, that's just that's obviously an accountant who knows their stuff, right? So and that just conversation finished. It's like, boom, this is what you should be doing. Okay,
Yeah, yeah,
so
yep,
you could be in there helping folks, and like, so entrepreneurial forums obviously is where you're going to find lots of entrepreneurs.
yeah.
But it's unbelievable. There is a lot of people in the forum looking for jobs because
Mm,
there's a lot of people just out of school or just still in school or just out of college,
mm.
and having a job isn't a bad thing to do to get
Oh
experience.
no, yeah, yeah.
you know so I even have, actually, I'll point you to it later on. I created a thread for what do I call it, learnings from being an IT contractor, because I was an IT guy
Yeah.
for 15 years, and I did a video and I said, this is the interview process. Actually, I mentioned HR in it as well. We've got to, yeah, it's
Uh-oh.
15 minutes. Yeah, I have to think about it. No, I don't think I said anything bad. Right, so, and then I talk about my CV, and this is the CV's job, is to get me to the interview, and then and I haven't done the next thing where it's like, bring a portfolio. You're an IT dude, bring a portfolio. Nobody else will.
Yeah.
Leave something on the table that's going to talk to them afterwards, blah, blah, blah. But I created all those and dropped them in there. I thought about doing I could literally create a little course for IT people who are looking for jobs and teach them how to get how to improve their CV, how to even understand what's going on with his CV and who's going to, and etc., and who you write for, then how to do these interviews, blah blah blah. I could do all that. I'm sure you could do the same. I'm sure I could create a little course and get people, because like you say, if you're going to get a better job, or if an IT person goes contracting where they're going from like 25 grand a year to 400 a day, that's like, they're going to pay for the ability to do that if you can sell it that way. So you're selling it as an investment, aren't you? Spend this amount,
Hmm.
hopefully you'll be able to get, go contracting and freelance or whatever. So people see this as an investment. And yes, I have helped other people get email signups, or people looking to pass exams in specific,
Hmm.
you know, areas for jobs. They're doing it for jobs.
Hmm.
You know,
Yeah, with HR in specific, the tricky piece about the exam is that there are two big behemoths that actually make the exam and like own the test prep.
yep,
And so you can break in for sure, but I think I'd have much better luck just working on the jobs angle, because generalists have the certification already. They just are blocked.
yep,
Like they've already passed the exam. They just can't actually sort of pop up because nobody thinks that they're a leader.
right.
Um, but this has been so helpful. My goodness, I have so many ideas. And so you're gonna do some noodling about the stuff we talked about and get back to me in terms
Yep,
of like what we could do together. Is that right?
totally. Yeah, we'll do that. We'll do that. There we go. So this ended up
Awesome.
being a video of us chatting. I know I loved it. It's been great chatting to you because
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
so many
same here.
parallels.
Here,
Yeah, we've
Andy.
got
Yeah.
to chat again, and then it's like an accidental sales at the end.
Yeah, but that's
And
how it
people,
goes, right?
yes, and that's brilliant that that's happened because like anybody watching this, hopefully they get a load of value anyway. They know
Yeah,
who to
yeah.
go. They know to go to for like HR and
Yes.
management questions. There we go, and they can see that how business is done. It's just like people chatting to people, exchanging value. There
Yeah.
we go.
I love it. That's awesome.
All right, Mel. We'll speak later, and it's been a
Thank
pleasure.
you. All
Cheers.
right, same here.
Bye.
All right, bye.